Hello, beautiful dragon people, it's me, your pal Vero, bringing you some more Dragon Prince content, this time in the form of more review of the Art of the Dragon Prince. Page 46. Grin! I love Grin so much. He is such a good person. Oh my god, he just makes my heart feel all the warm love feelings. Corvus is Amaya's go-to soldier when a mission requires stealth and subtlety. His skills as a tracker and spy are unparalleled in 𝐀𝐧𝐝. Corvus's placeholder name in the early scripts was Dennis Trackerman. That's a great placeholder name for him. You know, now that I'm looking at him, like, I can kind of see it. I kind of see like a Dennis. I can kind of see it. What? Page 47. 𝒊𝒏𝒄𝒆. 𝒊𝒏𝒄𝒆 is stern, principled, and knows the laws of 𝐀𝐧𝐝 inside and out. 𝒊𝒏𝒄𝒆 was not intended to be a recurring character, but she proved to be a delightful thorn in Viren's side. I love 𝒊𝒏𝒄𝒆. She's a great character. I can't wait to see her. I hope her role gets more expanded. And then down here at the bottom of the page, we get to see the coronation for Viren, looking more like a coup than a crowning. Then we get some beautiful art of the burning of King Harrow's body at night, and then what appears to be the same place but during the day. Page 49. On page 49 we get to see Claudia's cool little spider thing that she like crushes in her hands to light the fire at King Harrow's funeral, which is pretty cool. I actually really like a lot of these designs. They're all really good. I think the one that they ended up going with is probably my actual favorite though. So down here we get to see Harrow's body, and it says off to the side here that in early storyboards Viren lifted the shroud to prove that King Harrow was actually dead. Ooh, that would have been like a grisly moment. They wouldn't have even had to have like shown King Harrow's dead body. They could have just had like maybe one of the characters in the crowd be like, "How do we even know King Harrow is dead? He's fine this morning." And then Vero would be like, I said my own name. Viren would be like, "You don't believe me? Well, look at this!" And then he could like pull the shroud back, and then like the crowd would like gasp, "Ah!" And it would be like this horrifying moment. It'd be like, "Times are changing, people, whether you are ready for it or not," or something like that. I don't know. Page 50. On page 50, we get like a lot of really interesting interior artwork of the Panther Lodge, and then we get to see some really cool exteriors of it, and just some little bits and pieces, various props like the bridge. And then down here we get to see a really interesting thing, different designs of the key of Erebos. And what's really interesting about this is how it was just a lockbox in some of these other designs. And that leads me to a little side theory, if I can take your attention away from the book for 1 second. So a lot of people are wondering if the key itself is like the important magical part, but I don't think it is. I think that it really is just like a container that has something inside of it, and that's going to be the magical thing. So not the key itself, but inside of it is going to unlock the item of great power. Page 54. In this we get to see some really cool storyboards, and you guys probably can't really see this really well, but they also have little bits of what I believe to be an ASL person kind of doing the motion so that they can draw them and can later be animated, which is so cool. Page 55, we get to see some different designs of buildings, and of course, the lovely statue of Queen 𝐶𝒏 in her final pose, reaching down to save Viren before ultimately losing her life to 𝑹𝒆𝒗𝒊𝒏𝒄𝒆. Page 56, we get to see all kinds of different various designs for the throne. All of them look pretty good, except I kind of hate this one right here, just because it kind of like looks really uncomfortable. Like if you were like leaning against it, I kind of hate it. I already kind of have a bad back, and just looking at that is causing me pain. Down here we get to see the final throne design and how it matches basically the color palette of King Harrow, which is really cool. Page 57, we get to see the glowing Xadian butterflies. They provide fuel for dark magic so that Viren can sustain his less nightmare form. It doesn't say less nightmare. I added that part in myself. Page 58, we get to see some beautiful art of the Xadian countryside, followed by the nightmare fish creature. It looks like they experimented with different, more abstract tentacle river monsters, but ultimately decided that a giant catfish-like creature was more appropriate. Oh, thank goodness they didn't go with a tentacle monster. Oh my god. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. We get on page 59, we get to see them going down the river. This is a really pretty image. And then at the bottom, we get to see like different designs for the monsters and different kind of leviathans. I would love to see different designs like these kind of show up maybe in the book where they end up going into the ocean. That would be pretty cool. Page 60. In page 60, we get to see another really interesting storyboard where they're passing the egg to Rayla, and she's like, "Ow, my hand!" And she drops it. I shouldn't be laughing at that scene, but it's funny to me. Then we get to see some beautiful artwork of just the backgrounds of many shots, I believe, and just kind of the setting of that scene. Page 62. On page 62, we get to see the design for Corvus's weapon. This is really cool. I really like the way Corvus's weapon works. I was thinking, I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and I was thinking about trying to create kind of a homebrew weapon for something of the same design, but I'm having trouble balancing it. Maybe I'll be able to figure it out. I don't want it to be too overpowered with its range. And then we get to see some really beautiful artwork at the bottom. Spotlight. Primal Source. Moon. From new to full, the moon itself follows an endless cycle of light and darkness to light, two fundamentally opposed forces existing in parallel harmony. The primal source of the moon deals in reflections, phases, and dualities, truth and lies, life and death, reality and illusion. Moon mages understand that all shadows are born of light, and to reach for light is to cast a shadow. Moon magic, too, is cynical in nature, strongest under the full moon and weakest during the new. Oh, that's actually new information, isn't it, guys? Like, we knew they were strongest during the new moon, but so their magic is weakest during like a new moon. Okay, so strongest during the full, weakest during the new. That actually makes a lot of sense. That's actually really interesting, because it's kind of similar to waterbenders, where their bending is the strongest during the full moon, but I don't think they ever like said that their powers were weaker during other phases of the moon. That's actually really interesting. I'm wondering if that's going to show up as a plot point at some point in the future. Some great moon mages are illusionists, using their powers to befuddle and confuse their enemies' senses. Simple illusion spells can fool the eyes and ears, but more powerful illusions can mimic taste and touch. It's no surprise that those connected to the moon do not trust easily. Moonshadow elves in particular place deep value in oaths and blood promises, knowing that trust and perception are easily manipulated. In places where the energy of the moon is highly concentrated, the veil between life and death can thin, allowing the living and dead alike to glimpse the other side. Mages can conjure flickers of the past, restless spirits can be put to rest, and the living can bid final farewells to the lost. Alrighty, and that's all the time we have for this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please remember to click that like button. Please make sure to subscribe, ring that bell notification, that way you'll never miss a video from me, and you can stay up to date on all the best Dragon Print content and the stuff that I make. Anyway, as always, I'm gonna go rewatch the Dragon Prince. See ya.